For youths looking to, find SMEs that are unemployed, or just investors in general looking to come into the African sector, and I'll say African because Nigeria, Kenya, what are the commodities, what are the value chains opportunities available for people looking to invest in this sector?
Okay, for Africa Harvest, we are looking for, there are two projects that we are looking international. We have got a project we started this May with Africa Rice, funded by IFAD, which is going to invest in rice in Kenya, Madagascar, and also in Uganda. We're also going to, I believe, soon start a project with the Africa Development Bank, 8 countries in Africa, to scale up the success story of banana in Africa, banana and plantain. And these projects are going to be in Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, so I'll be seeing you. Madagascar is also going to be in Cameroon, Ghana, in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and also in Zambia. Now, to do this kind of work, you must work with the private sector, SMEs. SMEs are supplier of the seeds, they are supplier of the processed product going to come out of that. They are the people who do the what I call the seed system, the distributors. For example, to be able to disseminate the bananas, because laboratories are many in towns where there's light, there's water, there's what, but the farmers are very far. To be able to do that, you need people to carry the seedlings. You need systems where there is what I call small nurseries. We call them distributor nurseries. Many are manned by the youth. And then from there, you need nurseries, we need private sector labs to multiply the seeds. These are SMEs, and we've got several of SMEs which are involved in these laboratories and so on. Then once the fruit grows, you have got two bottlenecks into the whole equation of food production. Two big bottlenecks are on the seed, and they're actually on the harvest. How do you handle the harvest to avoid perishability? Post-harvest losses. Banana is a perishable crop. So once you come to perishability in the end, then we need now to move to better quality way of handling banana.
What is Africa Harvest doing to close the gender gap for women? Because women are the major producers of food and processors of food. So what is Africa Harvest doing to close the gender gap to make sure that women access the same technology as men?
Thank you so much, really, because I'm so passionate about this. As I told you, my driver was my home background and seeing the struggles my mom and other women face every day. And so a lot of our work, when you're involved, I always have women at the heart of this. Not that I discriminate men, but when I look across the Africa Harvest, all across our projects, our targeting is 60% women and 40% men. And it's a deliberate targeting because when you support a woman, you support the whole family. And that to me is across the board. Once you support the women to produce more, you support women to take to the market, you find where they make money, they share with the family. They do not just put it in their pocket and run. Actually, well, that's what we say, when you educate a girl, you expect you educate the whole village. Yeah. Without any discrimination, I would say that we have targeted women because we are seeing it's such a strong base to target women that it goes further and further, even to educating the children. The children go to school and across. So I've been deliberate targeting. The other one we have also targeted women is through when we actually get to the projects and we see opportunities for marketing and so on. We also make sure they are not defranchised, because when we started, and it's a very test story, when we started doing, for example, the work in banana, we would invite women first to the meeting, or we would just go and use the chiefs and who to get everybody to talk about this. Now it's easier, we have the radio, but several years ago the radio was not there to be used, and so on and so forth. Now we have many ways. And many women would come. First would be women to be convinced when we start the banana project. These are flowers, they cannot be a fruit. They were used to the big, the big sucker. And now we realize when men saw there is money, women were literally kicked. Literally, we went to the market and find there are no women. It's men who are selling. I said, what's the problem? Hey, what? I said, no, this can't be like that. Women literally almost pushed out of the market, and that's where the money is. And so we begin to literally educate and train them on business, because that's why women miss out. This is that women are not good on calculating and keeping the accounts and banking and so on and so forth. You realize where are the bottlenecks. Yes, women, you come and learn and plant. When they come now, we are keeping money, we are starting what? And women in Kenya has moved very well. The way to do it is groups. We are very good on so-called groups, women groups. So we started now strengthening the group, teaching them about chairman, secretary, bookkeeping, banking your money, taking loans, and endeavoring to, yes, you can actually take a tractor and chair or take whatever loan to work together and so on. So that we have done extremely well. The other is reaching out to the schools and universities. I've been a mentor to many girls, and I go to universities and give lectures and encourage girls to join the science career. Because you know, at a certain level then, they say, no, science is for men. So I say, no, science is not just for men. You can also do it. And keep your passion for the family. Think about your mom, think about that. And so we have done it very well. Also where there are loans, we have deliberately gone to encourage women to go. Even this country, there are loans for women. But many women don't go to apply. They hate the idea of filling many documents and so on and so forth. They say, no, go for it. This is the way you fill the document. This is the way you do this. This is you do this. And once you have 2 3 startups, they encourage others. You know, ladies like the beaten Katha was telling you and others. They start out and they draw others. So whenever we can get a woman to start up and become a light, like a candle, we use that candle to bring other women to see, hey, we can do it. We can really do it. So we've been very deliberate on women empowerment and the youth as well, because we have this huge youth group in Kenya and across Africa. And we have also targeted that group again in terms of every time we're doing a project, we bring in the youth. Yes, yeah. And the youth are entrepreneurs. They are not interested in being smallholder farmers. They want, where is the money? If I'm not making money, I'm not involved. I'm not interested if I'm not making money. So youth want to make money. So we don't even talk about farming. We say farming as a business. We don't call the youth farmers. We call them entrepreneurs.
So I know you're a champion of technologies for agriculture.
Yes.
And biotechnology as well. And I'll give you a quote where he said, you people in the developed world are certainly free to debate the merits of genetically modified foods, but can we please eat first?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the misconceptions and the myths about what you feel about GMOs, and you're the champion of this topic.
Yes.
And how you create awareness and educate Africans on this topic.
Yes, the whole area of GMO has been really a challenge in Africa because the anti-GM lobby groups has a very easy message to sell, just to claim misinformation, it's going to cause this, it's going to cause that. And that once you believe something, even if it's not true, it's very hard to delete it. And so we have always been like fighting a battle to convince. But I have seen another trend that now people in Africa, the reason for this accepting of GMO is no longer on information and whatever. Is there something for me there? A good example is Kenya. Yeah, we had this ridiculous ban, not based on anything. But right now we're in the verge of opening for cotton. Cotton has been accepted. Very soon the ban will be, I believe soon ban will be removed. We are going to have the cotton. And if you look across Africa, it's like acceptance is based now on what is in there for us. And I see that a long time, that this debate, the anti-GM groups seem like they are winning, and the reason they look they are winning is because we don't have a good product to sell. Yeah, it's have a good product to sell. And so a lot of energy have been lost and money on discussion, on debate, and so on and so forth. But the winning point is good products for Africa, because if you look at Nigeria now, I believe very well they have done a miracle because they have literally deregulated cowpea. And that means even people are not, the public is not foolish. The public is intelligent, despite all that misinformation. And I was talking of Kotulowski, that the battles they have to fight, the lies they have been told, the tricks about this. But people have come to a point they know these are lies. But they are saying, now give us a product. Yeah? And cowpea is a good example, cotton is a good example. But the area where we actually need to do a complete mind shift, now we are having a new problem called fall armyworm. Fall armyworm is a serious problem in Africa, and it's tackling maize, tackling most of our cereals. And when you go to Latin America, it actually came with imported maize. As we're importing maize, we're importing rice, we're importing what, we also imported the problem. We didn't have. And we didn't have control. Now, when you go to Latin America to see how do they control this, and in fact I had this because we had this meeting in our own country where our own PS, Principal Secretary for Agriculture, he was charity to find a solution for fall armyworm. They went to Latin America with a big delegation. They found their 70% is GM. They use BT maize, and then on top they use other things. You see, it's like you are fighting a battle, you use your bazooka. Your bazooka is a GM, is BT, is a GM technology. And then you use other pistols, the others, to fight the fall armyworm. And then you're saying like we have less and less places now to buy non-GM maize because more and more world is using BT to control these insects. So there are things where we really need to change in terms of how we perceive technologies. And I believe even in the GM technology, there's going to be a shift. And so I'm still patient, and I'm still patient to see that, and I've never changed my position. Still, as a scientist, there's absolutely, to the best of my knowledge, no danger in GM foods.
How do you think you can help African policymakers understand the constraints of not having these technologies for our smallholder farmers in Africa?
Maybe one is analysis. There's one professor from Germany called Martin Kaim. I know he has been doing analysis of not applying. What do we lose by not applying? And like now we can say, supposing we apply the GM technology on maize, what would we gain? We need that information to be this study to show. With the GM, this is what we gain. Without GM, this is how much we are losing in chemicals, in the environmental damage, in health damage, because these chemicals do also affect your health and so on. So there's information that's missing so that the benefits can be amplified versus the risk.
If you had a billboard and it had 360 million viewers to watch it, what would you want people to know? What message would you like to pass across on food security in Africa?
Yeah, food security in Africa can be changed. We can change the situation we are in Africa. There's not a single African country that's food secure. We are having challenges one or another. And I believe that the food security in Africa can be changed by several things. One is embracing the technology, new technology that improves the productivity. It can be improved by investing in agriculture. Absolutely. It can be investing in market opportunities, and market opportunities are there. If you look at Africa, only 16% of countries are trading with each other. You compare to Europe, it's 65%. We can trade with each other. And by opening our trade with each other and being able to improve our productivity and not leave the women as smallholder farmers behind, and do the aggregation and do good investment in mechanization and all that, we can actually change Africa. We do not have to be a continent that is continuously importing food. We can actually target export. We have better climate than many countries. We still have a lot of land. We have young people. We have very keen entrepreneurs. So we need, as Africans, just to wake up and work together and network and target the Europe market, target the Middle East market. Thank you.